if I said that Ronaldo was better than Messi, you and me would be much better friends, you know.
Memb, for someone who's such a prominent figure in the community and has been around for so many years, like you have, I was surprised to see that there's only one wide-ranging interview with you, and that interview was conducted by Hui Coyote 22, who is
Yeah.
yet another community member who's done a lot of work for the game. And a few years ago, he had this awesome interview series on AoE Zone, which I'll obviously be linking in the description box below. And again, I would encourage everyone to read. Now, in your case, Mem, I didn't need to read too much about you anyway, because as I've said before, we've known each other for many, many years now. So there's a lot of things I always wanted to talk to you about, and I'm glad I have the opportunity now. So, Mem, before you started streaming in 2013, you worked as a lifeguard, as a waiter, as a postal worker, as a builder, as an insurance salesman. You worked at a casino, to name just a few things. And you did all of this while getting a degree in economics. Now, out of all of those jobs, which one did you enjoy the most and which one did you hate the most?
Well, when you are that young, sometimes you don't really think about what you enjoy or you don't. You just work because you need it, and you have to do it. And it's better to, in my opinion, this is my philosophy and what my parents teach me, like, don't think too much in what you like or what you don't, because imagine if you like, yeah, you are super happy, but if you don't, you don't want to wake up every day. So I just take it like you have to do it, because life is not like everyone is gonna give you anything for free, But obviously, when you are working, and now you are asking me, when I was working in in the construction, for example, I don't like that.
It's
Not
tough
about
work,
being
man.
lazy or something, but it's very tough.
It's tough work, yeah.
And it's all depends. I was working in 2 cities as a mailman. In one city, I love it to work there. In the other, it was a disaster, because the place that I have to work, it was a bad place. It was scary. And I was 20 little. I was really, really an experience in many things. But yeah, it's okay. You have to work, and always with a smile. It helps. It sounds like, oh, this is easy to say. I know, but for
Well,
me,
you
it
did it.
worked.
You didn't just say, you did it. So
Yeah, for me, it
for you,
worked.
it's more than just saying. Yeah. Was there one of those jobs you could picture yourself doing still today?
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. I was thinking, if I wanted to say this public, this is a few people that know, but now everyone will know, because it's time, and and now I'm gonna give you the let's say the exclusive,
The juicy
and
details. Just
yeah,
do it.
no, I mean, I was also police,
Police
that,
officer.
but
I think I
yeah,
remember. Yeah.
yeah, and it was kind of undercover police, like without the uniform and so on,
Wow.
So that's the work that if I wanted, I could be doing right now, because I really like it. But sadly, even in the police, there is not all white. There's a lot of black things. And when I saw some things, I tried to fight against that. That people has been calling me controversial mem, like in a joke way or in a serious way. But when I see something that I don't like, I don't shut up. I try to, or something that I feel is unfair. I try to do that, and you cannot fight against the system. I learned that back in the days. And yeah, I mean, I stopped being police in 2016. So while I was streaming the first years in Voobly and so on, I was still being police. But well, I just decided that it was a note for me, and bye bye. So now something new that I didn't wanted to say in that interview, because when something pain you, sometimes the best what you do is try to forget, ignore. But now that I feel good, I don't mind talk about that. And you know how
Maybe.
it's internet, people will ask, oh, what about that, and so on. But yeah, I want to tell you, well, if people want to know, that's my other job that I was working for many years as a police. Yes, like 13 years.
That's crazy. So you were an undercover policeman police officer, and I don't know if you can talk about this, but were you? I don't want to. All the things I know about this job come from movies, so I actually don't know what you really have to do in that kind of job. I don't know if you can talk about this, but what was your
Yeah,
daily
I
life
can.
like?
I mean, I didn't know, I wasn't undercover police always. It has all a process, you know. I
Hmm.
started and I was in the academy for that. When people ask me, "Hey, man, had you been in the army?" I was 2 years. You know, I was the first year just to enter, and then I promoted, and I was sergeant, and I was another year in in the academy, and during that year, my wife got pregnant from Daniela,
Mm,
you know.
wow.
So it was a tough year because I couldn't be with my wife during the pregnancy, but
Hmm.
I just finished for days before it. My daughter was born, so all good. And well, the job I was doing at the end, it was a nice one, but it's what you see in the movies. Like when there was someone that died, for example, they call us, and you have to check what happened. Stuff like this, you know. So for important things, we had to go.
Hmm. So the stuff that you didn't like about it and that kind of made you not enjoy the job, was it something from within? I mean, within the police department, or was it something that had to do with your daily life in the job?
No, no, no. It was with them. Not my daily life is it's all okay, but
Hmm.
that I prefer to keep for myself.
Sure. You've shared enough, and thank you for that, man.
Yeah, no
Um,
problem.
did you actually complete your degree in economics?
No, that I have some. Yeah, I could finish if I wanted right now, but I never like it. You know, the working in a bank. I don't see that like my job. I mean, if you know me right now, don't think that you see me working in a bank, you know. But the teacher
Mm.
I finish. The teacher is finished completely, and I was in a couple of school, but well, because of life, I decide to other way.
Hmm. Hmm. When you started streaming in 2013, you weren't actually doing a lot of streaming yourself. You were mostly co-casting with Katsuni in Voobly's Twitch
But now you
channel
know why.
because your internet was awful.
No, no, and what we were
And the
talking,
other thing as well, right?
I was still working as well. Yeah,
Hmm. And
yeah, my
the two
internet was terrible.
I remember you complaining about it all the time. Now,
Was great.
the two of you became great friends, Katsuni and you guys went on to become one of the most iconic casting duos in the history of the game. Now, Katsuni is someone who's done a lot for this community, but since he's been away for so many years now, I'm afraid a lot of people don't know him anymore. And before I go on here, a fair warning to everyone. If you want to know more about Katsuni, do not Google his nickname while at work. and,
No,
and,
no,
the,
no.
and the reason you
Don't do
shouldn't
it.
do that is because
Don't do
Katsuni
it.
was actually the name of his favorite porn actress. And how do I know this? Well, because Katsuni told this story many times on stream. And that was just one of the reasons people liked him so much, right? He was always upfront, he was honest, and he had no trouble sharing embarrassing stories. Now, no one knew him better than you, though, Memb. So, how would you describe him to the people who never heard of him?
To Katsuni.
Yeah, how would you describe Katsuni? How was he like?
He was genuinely unique for sure. I mean, if I am honest, that I always say what I think, he go to the next level. You know, like one thing is to be honest. Sometimes you have to be polite. You know, and he sometimes was maybe crossing that line. You know, is the truth. You know, is the truth. But the best memories that I have in Age of Empires, even if I wasn't hosting anything at all, it really was with him because it's like when you start anything in life, right? It's like a joy for you. And then I remember that I was having a lunch with my family on a Sunday, and I was looking at the clock, you know, to see what time it was because I was like, fuck, man, why did they are asking now a dessert? Why now more to eat? Let's go home already because the Nations Cup has started. You know, the war is coming, it started, and I want to be with Katsuni co-casting. And I was getting Nelson. Well, you know, I was getting zero, nothing. I mean, no money, not nothing. I was just doing because I was enjoying like a kid, you know. And yeah, it was so enjoyable to cast together. And it was something new, when you had done this for so many years. I mean, if you still love it, the feelings are different, But
Hmm.
he was, I don't know, like, yeah, it was very nice. And I messaged him on Ewison. I have said this many times, but maybe people don't know. I messaged him on Ewison because I saw one day I stream on WSVG, and I said directly to him, man, I love what you do, and I would love to do that one day with you. I don't know. I don't remember exactly, but more or less
Hmm.
in this direction.
Hmm.
Then he was nice. I said to him that I was pretty much like his age,
Hmm.
25. And
He's a
and well, he was nice with me. We start to talk, and that's it.
he's a bit older than you, isn't he?
No, he's 10 years older than me.
10
Come on,
years, okay.
a
Hmm.
bit
Hmm.
older. Come on,
Well,
Nelson.
well, he never showed himself on camera, right? I think I saw him like twice or
No, he
something.
did. He did. He did. He
Very
did in
rarely.
with me and Nelly in one master of Arena 3, maybe the grand final. We
Hmm.
did a triple casting because people ask me many times, "Oh, you cast with this?" I have casted with many people many times, and we did in the past with everyone forever.
Hmm. Hmm.
When Neil
Hmm.
even didn't have a channel or something, he was coming to my channel as well, and we were doing stuff together. And he was there, and then I think he was in the camera in some traveling that he was with. I don't know
It
if you
was
were
in
there
Belgium.
with
Yes,
Voobly
it was in
guys.
Belgium. I was there.
That
Yeah.
better to don't remember those videos, okay? Don't remember those
Yeah, it
videos
was at a
better.
land in Belgium. I met him there
Oh
for the
my
first time.
goodness.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that.
Well, I is one of the things that I hope that I can do someday, because we never meet. And now with this COVID thing, it's probably even harder. But well,
Hmm. Hmm. Why do you think you became such great friends so fast? It felt like the chemistry was there right from the start.
we have very similar. I mean, a lot of common things about AOE, And when you have a hobby, when you have something that you love, no matter what it is, it's easier to get close to people, because you have something to share. You have a topic that you're gonna love to talk, you know, and that happened in everything. I mean, if I said that Ronaldo was better than Messi, you and me would be much better friends, But you know what I mean. I mean, you have things in common. It's better, and we never finished to be friends. He just went away because I think since the Maldives thing, he never was the same.
We will talk
That
about that. Mhm.
Yeah, that killed him. But well, I don't want to go in advance
Yeah,
because
we will
probably
get
you
there.
have a
We
lot
will
to
get
ask.
there. um, right. So, before Katsuni started streaming for Voobly Official, he was already somewhat well known in the community. Do you remember why?
Yeah, because he has posted every single recorded game in AOE Zone. Like what? He has how many posts? Thousand and thousand and thousand of posts. So he was a spammer, man.
Basically, but back then there were barely any streams and barely any tournaments. And so if you wanted to watch the pros, you would have to find recorded games. And that's where Katsuni came in, right? For many years, I think almost every day, Memb, he compiled like a pack of 20 recorded games from the past, from the best players. And he
Yeah.
just posted them on AoE Zone for everyone to download every day for years, until streams started becoming more and more popular and people stopped watching recorded games. Uh, so you started co-casting with Katsuni in 2013, and you already explained why you started doing that, right? So because of you weren't feeling good about your job, and there was a lot going on for you, right? Were those difficult times for you? Did streaming help?
Yeah, because when you are streaming, since you have to focus on many things, you forget about everything else. I mean, when you are streaming, i- all your mind it come there. Even nowadays, with this COVID, when I have problems with my kids, people think that all is fine, all is happy for men, but definitely not. And you as a daddy know that there's a lot of things to worry. Or life finish when they are there, when the kids are there. We are just in the background forever, you
Hmm.
know. But the streaming it helps, and what it helps for me, well, that come later because at that stage I didn't have maybe the impact that it seems that I have now. Because when people message you, and private message, like it happens, sometimes, hey man, you help me, you help me in my tough times. What would you do? I never thought that I did something really special, but people with those words, with those reminders, make me think that okay, you are doing something special, man. So that's why the streaming is it helpful for many people, not for only for me, but for also people that receive the content.
Hmm. That's something you hear all the time from people, right? They say your stream helped me go through this really tough time, and thank you.
Yeah.
That's something you hear all the time. You know, during King of the Desert 4, we talked a little bit with each other because you invited me to be the official interviewer for the tournament. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't commit to so many days, and you wanted to have consistency in the broadcast, which I totally understand, of course. And so you ended up asking Riley, who, as always, did an amazing job. Um, but as we were chatting with each other, you told me you really miss the old Voobly days, and that sometimes you feel like you actually preferred those times. Now, I'll be honest with you. I loved the Voobly days, and I have lots of good and fun memories, but I'm very happy with where the game is now, and I personally would never want to go back to those days. What exactly do you miss from those times?
The connection from the people was closer. It's not about the game itself. The game, I think, is in a better stage now. The tournaments, the game, the performance, many things. But now I feel the thing is, we have the community we have right now, and we know each other like we do because of Bubbly, because of that connection. If they created the DE from zero, all these connections wouldn't happen between anyone. I mean, nobody will know each other. For example, I mean, I know this is a little bit controversial, but this is me. Do you think with how AoE4 it is done, and for example, Hera has moved completely to AoE4, do you think he's gonna get that connection with people playing in that game? Very difficult. Maybe with the tops or and all the streamers that are big, okay, because of the streaming. But I mean, the interface is what I'm talking. There is not a possibility to chat. I mean, when you finish the game, you cannot chat in Voobly. Even if you wanted to rage or insult, you shouldn't insult anyone, okay? But in the gaming, you get angry, but you complain with the spectator. You could chat in Voobly, spectating a game with the other spectators. There was a lot of trash talking, but this is gaming, Sometimes it's fun. All this stuff from Voobly, I think, is what make the platform special. And don't forget, I don't want to to have to remember this to people, but everyone is needed. But if Bully wasn't there, Age of Empires 2 will be dead. I mean, that's 100% because I was there when the zone closed, and AOE was in a limbo, Nelson. So that's the truth. But what I miss about Bubbly is that feeling. When I now I have a stream with, thanks God, good amount of people. But when I go to play, if you are not streaming and I go sometimes, you are lonely. Like you are very lonely.
Hmm.
It feel that lonely feeling. While in Bubbly, it does never happen.
So you think it's just a problem with the way the platform is organized that we don't have enough, I don't know, possibility for socializing, to put it this way? You think it's a problem with the platform of DE itself?
Not only the platform, also the game. You cannot chat with people basically when you finish. You cannot rehost in the same lobby. You are doing a lobby with 6, 8 people. Since this is matchmaking, when you finish, you start from zero. You have to invite the people, all the people to play again over and over instead of keep in the same party. Why you cannot keep in the same party with the players that are playing? I mean, eh, so all these, if you sorry, if
Well,
you want a rematch, you cannot make a rematch. Then imagine that you played an incredible game. You want to play against them, or the loser want to play against you. Where is that option?
mhm.
All these kind of things create community as well because it create a rivalry. Between some teams that imagine. I'm sure that there is people in DE that are getting with their friends every day. You know,
Mhm, mhm.
and maybe those want to play against other team, but they cannot. Oh, it's a small detail that you think about that. All adds up. Well, in this case, just the opposite.
Mhm, mhm,
Remove feelings and possibilities.
mhm.
And matchmaking has good things, but has a lot of bad things.
Okay. Um, I have to tell this story, man, because it's always the first thing I remember when I think about you in those early days. I was a staff member at Voobly, and we had this tool where we could send what we called a broadcast to everyone on Voobly. And a broadcast was basically a message that would just pop up in your screen. So we had the ability to send these messages to everyone on Voobly, and that was obviously a great promotion tool. And so Taff, who was Voobly's head moderator and a good friend of both you and me, he only wanted to use this tool very rarely and only for special occasions like, I don't know, finals of big tournaments, and never to promote personal streams. So every you know what's going to come, right? So every now and then,
Yeah,
you would wait until Taff logged off from Voobly, and when he did, you would immediately message me and ask me to send a broadcast promoting your channel because you knew Taff would never allow it if he was online. I always wanted to say no to you because I knew Taff would be mad at me, but I'm terrible at saying no to things. And you probably could smell that. And so every time Taff went to bed, I knew I was going to get a message from you. You remember that?
I do remember, and and I remember that I was annoying doing that as well. But
It
that
wasn't
happens
annoying.
when
I thought it
you,
was funny. I thought
yeah,
it was funny.
it was funny. But I was like, for me, was something that was like, well, if you have the possibility, why not to use it? If you have the possibility, why not to use it? And maybe I was stubborn with that, and I was keeping doing that. Like, let's go ask to Nelson. He's gonna say yes. Let's go. Yeah, sorry, man. I was using you, man. What can I
That's
do, man?
fine. That's fine. I don't mind. I don't mind. Well, it worked a lot of the times, if I remember correctly.
It was working good, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
you know,
Well, now that you mentioned TAF, I don't know if you're going to talk about that.
yeah. Go
Well,
ahead.
people know, but no, but I mean, back in the days, being partner into each
It was hard.
is not like now. Like now, no offense to anyone, but now you make and you're partner onto each. I mean, it's much easier. It's not that it's super easy, Don't want that people feel disrespected because some people get partner and then it's a big compliment. It's a big success for them, and it has to be. It's nice. But back in the days, it was impossible. There was not the amount of viewers now. The requirements were a lot higher. So I want to say that thanks to Taff, because well, he helped me to make my channel partner. Without him, maybe I would be partner later, but not at the time that I got.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to say thank you so much to that, and pity that we lost him in the community. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Um, so in your first years as a streamer, you were mostly streaming on Voobly Official because of the reasons we just said before.
Yep.
Everything changed after the WSVG tournament in the Maldives, as you just said before. And I already talked about this in my last episode with Neely, but basically what happened was Katsuni and you were both invited to cast the event, but for whatever reason, the organization just simply didn't get a plane ticket for you guys. So you ended up not being there. And by the way, as we were talking about Taff, you probably don't know this, but it was the only time I actually saw Taff crying. He came up to me and he told me you guys wouldn't be able to come, and he was just devastated and feeling really terrible about it, even though it was not his fault. Anyway, both you and Katsuni were both understandably upset about the whole thing. And so Katsuni stopped streaming on Voobly Official entirely, and you started streaming almost exclusively in your channel, right? I believe you were basically streaming full time already back then. That's what I remember. But because the game was not nearly as big as it is today, and because you had been streaming almost exclusively on Voobly Official, I believe your channel was not nearly big enough to make a living out of streaming. And this was in 2015, which means Daniela, your daughter, had already been born. So, what were your plans for the future back then?
the thing in those days, I wasn't really thinking much about that. My channel wasn't that bigger, but I was the only one. Almost
Full
nobody
streaming.
was streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Like uh, I don't remember, but who else was streaming? I
I
mean, I
mean,
remember the Viper versus MBL Big Bada Boom Master of Arena 3, and they were not even streaming themselves.
mm-hmm.
MBL became a streamer, and he knows because he was watching my channel all the time. He loved the BF, the rage, and then he got addicted to that, and then he created the channel. And he was really well known, like many people has been, because he was in my channel. Nobody was streaming back in the days. But I have to say that there was no gift in Twitch, but there was donations. There was more donations then than now. And what I'm talking to this, my income was more than okay, even if I wasn't really full time, because people was donating. the donations are always better than the gifts in terms of money, of instant money, because they don't cut anything while Twitch is getting the cut. So I was fine already at
Oh,
that time.
amazing! I didn't know that. Okay,
I
amazing.
mean, I was fine because also, well, life is now getting more and more expensive. Then I didn't have Noah, so I just got my daughter. My wife was working. I was fine. I was fine. The support was really fine. And for example, I can tell you that right now I did Kino Desert 1 in 2017,
Hmm.
and that was my tournament, financially talking, with the biggest profit ever. And I have done tournaments with a lot more viewers, suppose. I got in Kino Desert 4. Maybe I'm going too far, but well, we will talk. That doesn't matter. I reached the goal of 5,000 subs, but people forget that. Well, that's 1 month, but Twitch get a big cut,
Hmm.
and taxes and so on. While with donation, for example, that was what I got from KOTD1. You get a lot more.
Hmm.
So I was fine. I mean, I was fine. I mean, I never complained. I can't be like a victim. Oh, Memb did sacrifice. He was streaming. I mean, I wasn't doing because of the money, because I was 2 years getting zero, literally zero. But I've been doing always the same. And then when I have the potential to organize tournaments, I mean, during those years, 2015, 16, 17, seems financially was good. That's why I hosted Kino the Desert,
Hmm.
because we have to remember that Kino Desert and Battle of Africa start completely from zero. Zero sponsors, zero support. It was all done by me and my community.
Hmm. Hmm.
Both tournaments, and I can tell that because I feel proud of that, obviously.
Obviously, and all the support you were getting were only donations, though, right? Because subs, I remember you struggling to
No
get
gift. No. I mean, I remember that I had a joke like, if I get 200 subs, I will visit Katsuni and give a
and
kiss.
kiss them. Yeah.
Because there was no subs at all, but the donations were good, man.
They were
To
enough.
to make a living, so can't complain.
Impressive, amazing. Okay. Now because you're such an incredibly hardworking guy, and because you managed to stay consistent and just kept streaming hours and hours on end, you cast every possible event. Your channel did start to grow. But at the same time, your channel was growing. And speaking from an outsider's perspective here, it felt to me like your friendship with Katsuni started to sour a little bit and you guys started to grow apart. What happened there?
I mean, something stupid. What really makes that, not that our friendship finished. He was really down with the Maldives. He disappeared. I barely have contact because of the Maldives. He was very down, and I convinced him to come back. And I was trying to, man, make your channel. I was pushing him to make his channel. It reminded me how Viper pushed Jordan to come back,
Hmm.
because Viper pushed Jordan to come back. So I pushed Katsuni to come back. But I have to be honest, the only problem that happens here is that Katsuni was upset with me, because if, for example, if he was casting a game at 3 p.m. my time, 4 p.m. or whatever, and there was some nice matchup, Katsuni had a time frame that he was going to stream, no matter what. He was that kind of guy. When it's 6 p.m., I'm just giving an example. He just finished, and that. He
Hmm.
finished and he go. But I'm not like this. I have kids, I have responsibilities. If I have an event, you will stream when I
Until it's
can,
over.
and when
Until it's
the
over.
event is there.
Hmm.
Then he wanted that I don't stream when he stream, and I said that I wouldn't never do that. I mean, we can even co-cast together, and you see how Viper Jordan always overlap, and all those always overlap. And those are the things that Katsuni is very nice, is special, but for me it's also weird. And you cannot ask anyone to stop his job, And he was asking me to stop my job, basically. And then I said no. I mean, I'm sorry, but if there's something that I want to cast because I like it, I enjoy, and it's good content for me, why I'm going to stop? And he wanted, okay, stop doing this, at least for a while, till like, then, well, when you finish, maybe the series is over. Like, I mean, we can cast together. I mean, and was stupid because it's good to we stream together, because sometimes we are going to be at the same time. Then you finish, you host each other,
Hmm.
you give viewers to each other. In the way that he was doing, it's a way to don't grow, to feel more lonely, you know.
Hmm.
But that was the only thing happened between Katsuni and me. That's it. That was the issue, you know. Then for that, he came back answering my channel sometimes more, not like before, but for me that was kind of stupid and disappointing. Obviously, not gonna
Hmm.
lie. You know,
Hmm.
it was the only thing. I mean, what else? Nothing happens. You know.
Another consequence of you becoming a big streamer was that people started to criticize you a lot. You know,
Oof. Yeah, and
people
I still do
people
it.
complained about your English. They complained about your accent. They said you scream too much. Your hype commentary is fake. They said you only care about money. All sorts of things. And I always admired you for being able to fight through all of that. I mean, no matter how many bad things happened to you, you always kept going, kept streaming, never gave up. I think that's an incredible quality to have as a person. Now, people have also criticized you for being toxic to other people, to other players. And whenever people accused you of that, your response was always, I'm not toxic, I'm honest. And I always thought that was not a good response because I believe it is perfectly possible to be honest without being toxic. Now, interestingly enough, ma'am, just a few weeks ago, I heard you say on stream you think you're now much more controlled and more relaxed, and that in the past you were too crazy sometimes. These were your words. So it sounded to me like you were kind of admitting you were a bit too aggressive in the past. Have you actively tried to control yourself better on stream, or did it just happen naturally through years and years of experience?
It's more about I have some highlight videos where I'm dancing, I'm going crazy, I'm going, doing some stupid things, that can be funny for some, can be freak for others, can be, but sometimes you just don't think. It's more about that, about the topic being toxic. Um, when people was telling these kind of things, they were never giving the examples. It's very easy to throw these kind of words, but then you don't say it was this time. I mean, everything is recorded. I upload all on YouTube. Everything is recorded on Twitch. When there's something, I have never seen a link with the toxicity from me. You didn't even give me example like, okay, ma'am, you say this because if you say, I can tell you, okay, Nelson, you're right. I was toxic. I apologize, or not, or whatever, or explain why I say it. But when these kind of things, and in internet happens a lot, not only with me, people say blah blah blah, and they don't say the explanation. They just throw, and then if 100 say the same, then it's true. But nobody prove it. Nobody prove it. I don't think that I was toxic. I mean, some people is also extra sensitive in the sense that I'm casting, and sometimes for example, the badaboom that Terror killed himself. I allowed, and I am. Maybe some people consider that toxic because I say such a new blah blah blah. Terror always loud about that. I have met him in real life. For other guy, maybe he will hate me forever.
Hmm.
You know, that's an example of what I mean. I just try to joke to make a show because sometimes it's a show, but a show that I feel. I mean, not being fake. I mean, when I don't like a game, I cannot hype it. I mean, I use. But if the game is good, I like it and I do it. The toxicity or being fun is also subjective.
Hmm.
So for one is toxic, for other not. So it's complicated. But for these kind of things, I highly ask people. Not for me. I mean, because about what you said. I mean, I think I got probably one of the most hate in the community. Probably because I'm Spanish and my English is different and my accent is different. Well, I'm Spanish. I can't change that. Maybe I could be in a teacher. Sorry, I have my voice a little bit, as you
Don't
see,
worry. Don't
but
worry.
but I don't have time to get classes. I don't have time to go abroad and well. But if you remember my English back in the days and now, Nelson, we couldn't be doing the interview right now. So it's
Right.
crazy. But I mean, for that reason, when people ask me, "Would you want that your kids dedicate to this?" No, no, because I mean, you see that a lot of influencers has problems.
Hmm.
A lot young people. I mean, maybe these things happened to me when I was that age, and maybe I cannot go forward like I
Mhm.
did. The thing is that all this happened to me when I was 30 something. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm not 25. I admit
Finally,
it, I'm
the
not.
big reveal. The
Yeah,
big reveal
yeah,
finally.
but Nelson, you know what I mean? Like,
Totally.
because now I'm old and old, and since I said what I was working back in the days, obviously I don't feel good with some of the commentary that I got during the year, but that for me was really nothing in comparison with what I have seen in my life. So it
Mhm.
was okay.
Okay, so you think it's all a matter of perspective. Um, you know,
Yeah.
there were so many times I felt confused about you because in one moment you were shouting at your teammates, and then the next second your daughter comes in and you just completely melt away and your mood completely changes. You're like, "Oh, hello, my princess. How was your day?" And I just kept thinking, how can this guy be such an amazing father? Then in the next moment, rage like that. Anyway, I think you did become more relaxed, and you said so yourself. And I think that's good for you, and it's good for your stream. Now, ma'am, when was it clear to you? What year roughly that streaming was really working out well for you, and channel is growing, support is growing. This is now big enough to make it my full time job.
When I knew that,
What year roughly? Yes. When did you know this is working? I can do this now.
2016. So it was like 3 years after. So 3 years without doing for to enjoy only. In 2016, that was already after Maldives, I think.
Yeah.
I was like, this is good enough. I was like, and the most important for me is, I was asking myself, do you really enjoy? Do you see this in many years doing this? My answer was yes. So yeah, and then I have several goals on uh, on the stream, and I've been doing them all. I only have one goal that I miss, and I hope that I can do someday, and is to host a LAN, a LAN event. I want to do that. It's very difficult,
Times are hard now.
unlikely
Yeah.
to happen. Unlikely to happen, not only for COVID, also because it costs a lot. And now that I has been in some land, know how much money it costs,
Hmm. Hmm.
and you need a lot of support. But honestly, I think I have proved already that we can host great events, with the
No
help
doubt.
of my team, and that when I have been also in other events, I mean, who could imagine, Nelson? You know me, that I will be involved in Red Bull 5, for example, like in the way I was, and well, and also in NAC 2, because I think NAC 2 was also great. I mean, I think with NAC 2, uh, a lot of things about the hate that people was, it changed,
It's starting to
you know
change. Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, because people know me a lot more. A lot of people was thinking that I was fake with the love of the game and how I was feeling. And then when people saw that going for free, because remember, I went for free to NAC 2, I didn't get a single dollar going there. I don't know if you know that, but now you know.
I
And it
didn't.
was 11 days out of my stream without my two kids, without my wife. I got zero money, and I enjoyed like if I was in my channel. I was
Mhm.
enjoying like a little kid. When there was a donation 10,000 during Jordan casting, some people was telling, because during 20 or 30 minutes we didn't uh, Jordan and me didn't notice that there was a 10,000
I
donation,
remember that.
and then we noticed the donation after the game. And then when people saw my reaction, when I noticed, then they know, okay,
That's
he
how it was
didn't see
real.
it. He wasn't hidden that hiding this situation, and I bring mad salsa and so on.
Mhm.
Well, I'm just going to, I start to talk. I'm going to
Go
many
ahead.
topics,
Go ahead,
but
man. Go ahead.
no. But what I mean is that, mm, those events, I think, have proved that I can cast in any environment, and I adapt very well to the channel that I
I
am,
think so too.
and
Yeah.
uh, and I
Yeah.
don't cast the same in other channels than in my channel as well.
I remember your cast with Jordan kind of stole the show in that tournament. It was so the 10,000 donation, was it from Matt Salsa? I wasn't sure anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Um. Right, mem. So in 2019, Age of Empires 2 DE releases, and there was a lot of hope in the community that this time Microsoft would do things right. And at first, you were very critical of DE, but now, after 2 years, what's your general opinion on it?
The same. Ah. Ah. Fail. I mean, It's good. I mean, and they work definitely. You can see it, but it could be much better. I'm sorry, Microsoft. I love you guys, but it
Okay.
could be much better.
Okay, let's do a pros and con list. So, what do you think it does well, and what do you think needs to be improved?
Well, the obviously the server thing when you play is amazing. I
Mhm.
mean, I have been trying to play on Voobly several times. It's true that now people who play there is probably also people that has lower connections,
Worse
lower
computers.
PCs. So obviously the it's not going to be the same, But well, yeah, the performance is just better. And but when we were talking about the social stuff, they could do a much better. I don't know how to explain, like environment. It looks so outdated
User
for
friendly.
the game it is. It's not friendly. It's more for just casual people. It doesn't create a community feeling, in my opinion. For me, it's all more about that. And the team game is that. I mean, how the team game is going, a lot of unfair games. The ladder is, you know,
Okay,
I
but
mean,
was the ladder really that much better in Voobly, the team game ladder?
well, but you can choose. So I don't say that it was super great, but you can choose if you want to have a good game. Maybe it's take a while. Yeah, but people choose that. And at least you have the opportunity to choose what you want. Leave them at the matchmaking if you want. Okay, just leave it. People is still getting a lot of minutes waiting and not getting then a decent game. So people probably prefer to wait 5 minutes more and then get a good game, and you rematch. So when you get a game, you keep getting a game. Well, give the opportunity. People who want to play matchmaking, he will still play, and I'm sure.
Hmm.
But for example, now I'm playing in lobbies without
Right,
rated.
and it works
You
great,
know,
doesn't it? I mean, you
yeah,
have
it was
great fun
work.
doing it. You have great fun.
But
I
I'm
can see.
sure that if it was with lobbies, it will be even more people playing.
Hmm.
I'm s- for people love the points. I don't know why, because I don't care the points. I don't care the points, but people love the points. Like if points give money, points don't give money, amigos. Well, but
Mem, in the last few days, there have been several indications that there's a new DLC on the way. And we don't know if it will bring new civs or new campaigns or both. I mean, I don't know. You probably know. I don't know.
no,
Now,
I can tell you, I have no idea.
okay.
I mean, I see rumors. If I know something, I will tell you. Okay, I have information, but I cannot share.
Hmm.
I know nothing about the DLC. I know the same rumors than you, so I
Okay.
believe it will be true, but
Okay.
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. So, a lot of the people that are closely related to the competitive scene, like you are, they say they don't want new civs. But funny enough, just a
Why
few
not?
days ago, well, it's what I hear. I'm telling you what I hear. But then again, funny enough, just a few days ago, I heard you say on stream that you do want new civs, and you
Why
don't want
not?
just two civs, you want four new civs.
Yeah,
Yeah, can you
I
explain why?
mean, well, if you pay $10, why $10 for or 20 or whatever for two saves? It make four. Two for me is too little. It's ridiculous. But why not more civilizations? It's good to keep the game fresh. Just also don't forget that the most important is the improvements, the performance, that there is no bug. Uh, you know. But why not more saves? I mean, I like Poles. I like Bohemians. I start to like even the Flemish Revolution,
Wow.
the first. No, I don't like the Flemish Revolution. I hate it. Is the most crap thing that they integrate in the game with First Crusade, because when you
Hmm.
push a button for very cheap, and then 5 seconds after there's zombies in the game, what the hell, man? Is Age of Empires or Walking Dead? you know, like seriously, no, man. But the civilization play with Burgundian, for example, I like it. I like to be able to make upgrades in Dark Age. Cumans, I like the double TC. Like it's create a lot of variety. I know all the civilization. It's 39, but when you are in the game, you know everything. If they want to create more, but focus on the ladder, on the performance, in all these things. That I mean, that you can restore in rated, for example. It's ridiculous that you cannot restore a rated game and then you lose it if someone crash. It's too like all these things. We can probably review more and find more things to be fixed.
Hmm.
But why not more saves?
Hmm.
I want one explanation. Why not?
I think, and I'm speaking, again, on my role as the devil's advocate here, I think the argument against it is that there's already too many civs. And for new people, it's very complicated, to get a grip on all the new civs. And the more they are, the harder it is,
No,
to get used to the game.
no. I will tell you why not. This game is not like AoE4. and I will explain. AoE4, almost all the civilizations are like different mechanics. They are not symmetrical. Here, you got the scout, you got archers, you got spears, you got the same pretty much Dark Age for
It's
all them. It changed a
overlap.
little bit.
Hmm.
It changed a little bit. Then you change the main unique units and some specific bonus. But if you close your eyes, except the hands that you don't have to make houses, all the civilizations work the same.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know, I mean, where's the big difference? That the one have siege owners, the other don't have. So for the later game, but during the start of the game, I don't think that in AoE2 is that complicated to land the saves. What is complicated is the mechanics. Mechanics is different. You know, the micro, the multitasking, all that stuff. You know, but the civilization itself, don't think it's that complicated. Like,
Hmm.
not really, in my
Hmm.
opinion. If you know
Okay.
what I mean.
Yeah, I think the other argument was that, with the new civs, devs have been introducing a lot of crazy unique technologies and crazy units, as you just said. And so, the fear here is that if you give them the possibility to get even more new civs, the new technologies and new units are just going to get crazier and crazier and further
Well,
away from what Age of Empires 2 is.
Well, it's possible that the siege rams in the next update they will fly. You know, the siege rams can fly, and the siege owner is gonna go under the ground. You know, and appear at your back of your town center. It's possible. You know, the devs can do anything. I agree with that. Remember, we are still in Age of Empires 2 medieval. We are not in the future in Age of Empires 5 or StarCraft. You know, please keep it that in mind.
Okay.
I agree with that,
Mhm,
Nelson.
mhm, mhm. Man, I think it's pretty safe to say that 2021 was by far the best year for Age of Empires 2 ever. We had $650,000 in tournament payouts. Several viewership
Yeah.
records were broken. We had the biggest and most professional LAN tournament ever. So it would always be difficult for 2022 to match the success of 2021. But on top of that, we now have at least two big things that are sort of casting a shadow on the future of Age of Empires 2. The move to Facebook from two of the biggest Age of Empires 2 streamers, T90 and Viper, and Age of Empires 4. Now, let's start with Facebook. T90 and Viper moving to Facebook is, in my opinion, undoubtedly a bad thing for Age of Empires 2. Simply because, their viewership has gone down, and because of that, the game has less exposure. And just to make it clear, as I've said in another episode, I'm not criticizing them for the move. I think it's perfectly legitimate that they accept a job offer, which is pretty much what this is, with much better working conditions. But despite that, despite being bad for Age of Empires 2, Memb, do you think their move to Facebook might actually have a positive effect in your channel?
No, and no. Both things. I don't think that the worst is that they moved to Facebook. I'm sorry what I'm going to see. I think the worst that happened to Age of Empires 2 is how much dedication and support for Age of Empires 4. And I'm going to tell you why. Both T90 and the Viper has a lot of exposure, but we forget how strong is YouTube uploads. YouTube uploads give a lot more exposure than Twitch. A lot more. And we underestimate and remove the value of those uploads. What I mean, if we still have um, big tournaments like in 2021 for Age of Empires 2, instead of creating this hype for Age of Empires 4, that I think is not needed because the game is not ready for that. First, you have to have a good game, and then you make the tournaments. You don't make the tournaments, and in a game that is not ready for that, and this is what I mean. So if we had similar or not the tournaments, even if they are not in Twitch, when they upload on YouTube, a lot of people is gonna watch. They have how many? Both over 200K subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
So Twitch,
T90.
yeah, for the live views, okay, it's a fact, but the live views on Twitch, I mean, are relative. A lot of viewers are there not even watching. When there is those, when there is main page, those are not real viewers. But YouTube, who is watching YouTube because he's going, clicking, he's dedicated to watch the video, and it's spanned all over. So, and for my channel, well, obviously, for example, for Kino Desert 4, I have got my record about the best amount of viewers in my ever. But I did the same the last year. T90 was streaming. I
Hmm.
reached 12K, I think, and T90 was 13. We were almost the same viewers. Yes, I mean, I was the host, and usually the hosts get the most viewers. But the truth is that T90 has a huge channel, or had a huge channel on Twitch, and people pick him to watch. But I think what makes the most exposure is YouTube more than Twitch. Honestly,
Interesting. Hmm.
you know,
Interesting.
for
Okay.
for for grow, the live views, okay, is there and so on. We got a lot of viewers on Twitch on KOTD4 without both of them on
Hmm.
Twitch.
So you
You
think
know,
them moving to Facebook doesn't change much about you, about your channel? It makes nothing.
I mean, it's not negative because it's not negative. I have now more views daily, but I think it's because of the KOTD4 success, and I don't know. I mean, when I'm been streaming and T90 was in Twitch, for example, he never affected my viewership. When he was streaming and he was getting 3K viewers, I was still getting the same numbers that the previous day, and he wasn't streaming.
Hmm.
It seemed that he always had a specific community that just watched him
Hmm.
for whatever reason.
Hmm.
But I analyzed this, For
Hmm. Of
example,
course.
when Viper was streaming, it was affecting everyone
Hmm.
on Twitch. Then when Viper was streaming, my viewers were down, were
Hmm.
less. That's correct, but not with T90. Why? I don't know that.
Who knows? Yeah,
But you can check.
interesting.
It's easy. You
Hmm.
check the numbers and you see, okay, who's the stream? Okay, Viper. Okay, let's stop.
Mhm.
Let's stop. Everyone is gonna watch him. You know.
Interesting.
And
Mhm.
now, obviously, for me, well, I think it's affect more than Hera is in AoE4 than the others are in Facebook, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Because uh, it's a lot of viewers that wanted to watch Hera. For example, the viewers that are not watching on Twitch to Viper and T90 are watching on YouTube. But the viewers that wanted to see Hera cannot see Hera because he's not playing. So those
Mhm.
are viewers lost.
I understand. Um, okay, yeah. Let's focus on Age of
But this,
Empires
I
4.
mean, is my opinion.
Of
So I
course,
don't
man.
know.
You're here to tell your opinion, and I really want to hear it. Um, yeah. First of all, what's your general opinion on the game, on Age of Empires 4?
Next question. I mean, you now seriously. I cast the Genesis. I cast a few tournaments. The thing is, there's times that you just like a game and just don't like. I just don't enjoy. It feel that people say, "Oh, it's faster." It's not truth. It's very slow game for me. Like I feel that nothing is really happening at all. It's super late. When the battles happen, the engage happen, you cannot even see who is killing who. You know, you can identify in AoE2 almost every time what's going on and who is killing who. I was checking last night, some bot from AoE4 after my stream, and even the casters didn't know who was winning at some
Mhm.
point between Hera and B. That was a so much, They don't know who is winning at some point, and not because of the score. What the scores say, I don't know how to explain that. I will explain this a lot better in Spanish. But and obviously, if you want to promote the game, the viewer experience is priority number one, probably.
Mhm. Mhm.
And what is the spectator there? And me as a caster, I want to spectate. You cannot track anything. You cannot know who is doing the upgrades, when he's doing, how he's going, nothing at all, And then they made a patch. Now that it seems that they fixed it, uh, animation cancellation, but it seems it's not fixed completely. I
Mhm.
mean, I don't know because I need to check, and I don't close myself to. I have said many times, if there is something in a way 4, I might try to cover. But in 6 years, I had never left a main event in the middle, and in the last two that I did, I couldn't keep casting because I wasn't enjoying,
In Age of
And I
Empires
had
4.
over 1K viewers.
Mhm.
I say sorry to my audience, but this only proved that if I don't enjoy, I don't go,
Mhm.
and that's obviously worrying me because as a full time, if there was no AoE2 content, I will have to search probably another job or another franchise instead of Age of Empires, maybe GTA 5. and be a killer there. Ta, 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 you
Uh-huh.
know what I mean? I
Hmm.
don't know how to explain. There is a way to fix these things, and honestly, nobody from AoE2 is really enjoying because they all left except Hera and Nidalee.
Hmm. But
Nobody else is really playing with a tournament very close to around the corner. I mean, Viper said that he don't like the game, and he's not gonna practice for N4C.
mhm,
And if his teammate organizes, so well, he's being honest, no?
mhm.
So
But man, the fact that you don't enjoy watching the game, don't you think that could be because the game is still very new and you haven't played it a lot, and so you don't really understand what's happening? Don't you think that could be a reason?
I was understanding what was happening. Nothing was happening. I mean, sorry to say like this. Literally nothing was happening. The maps, the water map, please. I mean, the water maps are bad in AoE2, but in AoE4, damn. Like when you see the boats switching sides to shoot fans and so on, like, and then the game is over, or when they are not really attacking at all and stay there forever, or then that map that I don't remember the name, that they are camping with Chinese till they got the crazy bombard cannons and
They've been
the
nerfed, I
Springle,
think.
and so yeah, but be nerf or whatever you want, but they are not symmetrical civilizations. How you balance not symmetrical civilizations is also a problem,
Very
and they have
hard.
only 8, introduce more and more problems.
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean, I know about the game and I have been checking, I have been playing. I also don't do all online. Sometimes I check offline,
Hmm.
Nelson, because I want to be
Yep,
more or less
it's your job.
updated.
Hmm. Hmm.
And well, I mean, but honestly, if we had something like Capture Age that you can track good, and so to the viewers, because I'm there for the viewers. I mean, for myself, but for the viewers. And when
Hmm.
you cannot show stuff, honestly, I'm not gonna say a name, but the other day I was watching IOA4 big name, and he was describing the animation cancellation not like a problem, like a feature. It was, oh, look how he's using the animation cancellation. It's amazing how he's used it. I was like, what? I mean, you know what I mean? He was
Hmm.
like, okay, this is, and I was like, come on, man. I don't like that, those things. But the, the game wasn't finished before. They have released a game that, in my opinion, it wasn't ready to be released.
Hmm.
I mean, no hotkeys. Sorry, but I'm too old. I'm not a gamer like Viper, and I need my hotkeys. I mean, when I have try play and I try play, then I go back to AoE2, and I don't know how to make villains in AoE2. So I need to put the same hotkeys
Hmm.
because the mechanics is very similar. Different upgrades, different uses, yes, but the start and so on, different build orders, but it's gold, stone, wood, so it's similar. So you can use all the hotkeys.
Hmm.
Uh, so
For me,
there's, for me, a lot of problems.
yeah, for me, one of the biggest problems in Age of Empires 4, and I'll say I haven't played it yet, but I do want to enjoy the game because I know it's a new game, it's Age of Empires 4. But for me, the biggest problem is that as a viewer, someone who only watches, I just don't know who's winning. And if you're watching something
Exactly.
and you don't know who's winning, who's losing, how are you going to have some tension, and the thing is, the overlay doesn't show who's got more military, who's got more villagers, and the score doesn't say anything at all. So as a viewer, you are totally lost if you don't play the game yourself. And so that's one of the things I think they need to improve as soon as possible. Okay, Bem. So recently there's been a big tournament announced for Age of Empires 4 and 4C. Were you disappointed that it is an Age of Empires 4 tournament and not an Age of Empires 2 tournament?
What do you think?
I hope you can tell me.
Massively disappointed. I mean, not gonna lie, I was smelling. Well, I more or less knew that this was going to happen because I have information about that. But I was having the small hope,
Mhm.
that maybe Nilly changed his mind, and think, okay, no, well, I'm very disappointed with that. I mean, yeah, I don't know why this is happening, in Age of Empires 4. Of course, it's his decision, but yeah, no. I mean,
Right.
I'm
Isn't
disappointed.
that good enough, though? That he just says, I want this to be an Age of Empires 4 tournament because, Age of Empires 4 is going to have tournaments and Age of Empires 2 is also going to have tournaments. So it was just his decision. I prefer to do this on Age of Empires 4. Isn't that good enough?
Well, it's like if I did King of the Desert 4 in AoE 4. King of the Desert is AoE 2 tournament branded, you know, and it's an iconic tournament. Hidden Cap, knack. All three is like the Grand Slam of tennis, but in AoE, you know. And then you don't go and play Wimbledon in basketball, right? You play tennis.
Okay, but it's just the
And
name.
if
So
you
if
make a
he,
tournament, you make completely different, you know. And he tried to put the N4C, but I don't think that's enough. That's my opinion, you know. And I didn't talk about this. Um, I don't understand the choice, seriously. Not at the state of the game, you know, because it's a big risk as well. Like, there's no spectator, at least that they have something surprise, you know, and well, and it's not about me being invited or not, because if he did in OE2, probably I wasn't going to be invited either, you know. But
no, you don't know.
I'm talking as objective outside of the tournament, because yeah, and don't think it's good really. Uh, it's a big risk also by him, you know. And well, 100K is not only 100K, Nelson. 100K is the prize pool. It has to be, I don't know, 200K with casters,
All the
with
production as well.
with the production, with everything. Like, so, and that's for AOE4. Well, is their decision. But this is, and now I'm going to go into a topic that is a lot of people have been asking me, and I didn't want to answer because I knew I was going to make the interview with you, and I wanted to give you my opinions, you know.
Mm-hmm. Please
And
do.
um, a tournament organizer, and I have said this to Nelly, and I have said this to Microsoft, cannot be also a streamer and host a tournament. It's just not possible. Like, I shouldn't be either, you know. Is my opinion, you know, because you cannot make, even if you try your best, how can you be objective? You try to be objective, but you cannot be objective because it's not possible, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And well, you will try, but it's conflict of interest, you know. I mean, it's. I mean, I shouldn't be a tournament organizer. How? I mean, I'm hosting. I have in my own channel. In my opinion, if he is the tournament organizer, he shouldn't be hosting tournaments.
I mean,
It's
the
as
tournament
simple as that.
coordinator. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Tournament coordinator, then he stopped streaming at that level. You know, just stream for fun. You know,
Mm-hmm.
That's common sense. I don't know what you think about that, but
Well, I think
it's
then
my opinion. You know,
you're critiquing Microsoft. Then you're not critiquing Nilly because Nilly was given the job.
no. If they offer to me, probably I will accept too.
Right.
And then I make King of the Desert for 150 if I can. I'm not gonna lie, you know, because what missed KOTD4 in the you know, just being on land, because we made the closer environment, you know, possible to that. And obviously you're gonna try the best you can for the game, yes, but for yourself. Are you gonna tell me that you're not gonna make the best for yourself? Obviously Microsoft shouldn't put anyone. For example, Robo was ideal in that position. He's organized. Put Krasini. Krasini worked with everyone, with T90, with the Lida Core. I don't know if he's worked with Nilly, but he will work. And he's very objective. I mean, if we have working together a lot, when he has to tell me "shut up, Memb," he tell me "shut up, Memb." You know what I mean? You know. But someone that is directly involved and interested, for me, is crazy.
Now, so do you think, ma'am, that Age of Empires 4 is a threat to Age of Empires 2? Or do you think they can both benefit from one another?
People say that there is more people watching and so on. And that's benefit because he's going to go to Age of Empires 2. Why? When you check a category on Twitch, you check one category on Twitch. You don't check the other. I mean, I don't check other categories. And Age of Empires 3, I don't check Age of Empires 3.
Hmm.
or all the games. You check games that you want and personality that you want. And if you check the viewers numbers, um, it's not AOE4 what is getting viewers. It's some big streamers that if you check, they are getting a lot less viewers right now that they were getting when they were streaming their other games. I don't know
Hmm.
how is the name of this. Is Groovy or something? He was a Warcraft 3 player
There's a guy
thing.
called
I
Grubby,
don't
yeah,
know.
or Groovy. Hmm.
I He's not getting more viewers now. He's
Hmm.
getting less. If you check YouTube, he's getting less views as well. All he's getting is less that he was getting before a channel with 600K followers. I mean, I have not even 100K, and 100 with 600K is normal to have 2K viewers with anything you do, you know?
Hmm.
Like Viper, if we was on Twitch and was streaming another game, he would get viewers as well.
Hmm.
But is the game? No, it's Viper who is getting the game, the
Okay, so,
viewers.
but do you think Age of Empires 4 threatens the future of Age of Empires 2?
At the moment, for sure, because if there is not the main role, if there is not enough motivation for the pro players as well, and what, then it will lose a sponsor right now. So you need to keep doing big events in AoE2. It's it's how you show the people that the game is amazing and you can buy the game, play the game, enjoy also as a viewer. I mean, we have seen we made KOTD4 in a moment that was so risky, tricky. People was telling, "Oh man, but the AoE4 is just there," and we got massive amount of viewers.
Hmm.
Without T90 and without Viper and Twitch. Imagine if both there were on Twitch, the amount of viewers will be probably more,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Probably more. And also Hera not paying attention to the tournament in the last 2 weekends because he was streaming till he got eliminated. Then when he got eliminated, he was focused on AoE4 completely. If Hera was focusing also co-casting or casting and streaming KOTD4, but this is what I'm talking. It's all connected. It's not the game. It's the game plus personalities. If the game and personalities are together, the game keep growing, keep growing, keep growing.
Hmm.
If it's not together, it's not growing. And with AoE4, one is going to the other, and well, some people will keep watching their favorite streamers, but many people, the priority is the game. And you
Hmm.
can see in viewers numbers, Jordan was streaming AoE4 till he saw that he wasn't getting any viewership. He said, no more AoE4.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Okay.
Jordan is the same guy, right?
Hmm.
Playing one game and the other. But people want to see some content and they want the game. The thing is, StarCraft viewers seems to be more open to watch AoE4. It's the feeling I have.
Hmm.
And the streamers that are coming from StarCraft seems to be they are more open to watch those, but they still don't lie to ourselves. They are getting less viewers than they were getting before. Maybe the only exception is the Muslim. Maybe the
Hmm.
Muslim is getting more,
Because he's
but
one of the
he's the only
best in
one.
Age of Empires 4, right? He's one of the best players as well.
I'm not sure about that. He lost in the last tournament in the first round.
Oh, okay.
This is the thing.
Didn't he
But
win
the thing,
a
Nelson,
tournament?
Nelson, the
What?
thing here is it's very hard to be the best when the game is so new.
Hmm.
It's very easy to success in a tournament and then in another just fail, or stuff like this, like it's complicated. Obviously, some people, if they are constantly uncommitted, can be, but it's difficult. And don't think that the game it has the time yet to know exactly who is the best and who is
Hmm.
not.
So you've recently announced 3 S tier events for Age of Empires 2. There's the first S tier Black Forest tournament for Age of Empires 2, which will be happening in April. Are you the organizer of that event, or is it? I don't remember if his name
It's
is
Williams and
Williams
me.
or Williams. Is it Williams or Williams?
Yeah, but Williams,
Williams.
Williams,
Okay, with a
Williams.
V. All right. Uh huh. So you
VVV
both.
the Viper.
Okay,
Huh?
so it's both of you
Yeah,
together. Hmm.
but I want to be clear with this.
Hmm.
He did Rage of Empires 1 and 2. It's true that I have covered them like it was my tournament, like I do more or less. So I help a lot to make promotion. And I don't know if being together, it helps to get the S tiered support for this, but I'm co-host. I mean, I'm organizing with him. We
Hmm.
decide the things together
Yeah, and
and
you're
so
putting
on.
your name behind it. Hmm.
Yeah, I'm organizing with him, but he's, let's say, the first host and I am the second. I'm not the
Right.
first and he's the second. No. He's the first and I say the second. If this is a way to understand the things,
Yeah, awesome, awesome that you
he
support the
asked me
event
to
like that.
join to help him and so on, and I said, well, I love Black Forest, so yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
And if I can support and promote the tournament and organize, but uh, for example, I didn't have conversations with Microsoft about the tournament,
Hmm.
or just too little.
Hmm.
I cannot say what, but I just gave to Microsoft, let's say, my support to the tournament, and that I'm on board and I will help the tournament with everything that I can.
Hmm. Hmm. Cool. So then in June we will have Battle of Africa 3, and then towards the end of the year there's King of the Desert 5, of course. So what are
This
your
is, I want to tell you before
Mhm.
you continue, this is not 100% confirmed.
Okay.
We are working on
It's
that.
a
Confirm
plan.
100% is the Rage Forest, but uh, I mean, high percentage to happen,
Mhm.
the other two. Okay.
Okay, it's a plan. So what are your goals as a streamer and as a caster for the year 2022?
Well, after 2021 is difficult,
Mhm.
because I was in Red Bull Wololo 4 in Germany, casting in a studio. Was great experience. Red Bull Wololo 5 that I met you there, was great experience to meet you
It
there,
was awesome to meet you
A-
too.
and
Finally.
and it was great experience overall.
Mhm.
It's difficult, man. For that, we need more events, because if not, the goals this year is gonna be, you know. But really, I mean, enjoying, and obviously now that because well, we didn't mention, but I don't want to go into that. But I just hope that my channel keep healthy. Honestly, I got many goals that I wanted in 2021, and I just hope that 2022 my channel is gonna be healthy, and we will try to make the best events possible. I hope we can get some big support to AoE2, not only to me, to in general, because in general, all the time is open streaming, and with that, I'm more than satisfied.
Mhm.
And I don't think of I want a number of subscribers or for followers or so on. I will keep going, Nelson,
Just keep
and
enjoying. Awesome, man.
keep enjoying. And that's it.
Man, thank you so much for your time, man. This was just as awesome as I thought it would be, and thank you for your
That's
openness.
it. I,
That's
I
it.
want I want
That's it.
more, man.
Yeah.
I wanted more. I
Well,
thought it was going to be it was going to be harder, but don't see that hard question, man. You were too
well,
kind with me.
thank you, I guess.